How do you want to start it?
We started it already.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping. It's really weird without Matt, you know?
I wonder... we've had, I think 2 actual openings, maybe, since he's been gone. The rest are just... We just start whenever.
I mean, listen. All bets are off. Who cares anymore?
This is anarchy now.
It's day 40.
Wow.
We unironically kind of ran out of food yesterday.
It really?
Yes and
Oh,
no.
no.
So, we stocked up on a load of freezer food because we didn't know if there was going to be a food shortage or something.
Yeah.
So, we've got a bunch of chicken and, potato-y things.
Yeah.
Right? You know, just basically chicken and chips for days.
Sounds good.
We didn't have anything else.
So you just had chicken and chips?
Chicken and chips. No, we did have some pasta, which is stocked up on, kind of. We have,
How did you manage to get pasta?
Well, it's all back in the shelves now, isn't it?
Well, now it is. It wasn't for, a month.
Yeah, I learned that the hard way when I didn't have any toilet paper.
Wait, you actually ran out?
Yeah, no, I, as a person, absolutely ran out of toilet paper when I was at uni.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could not get any more, but luckily, I was being picked up and taken to a safe haven.
Just in the nick of time.
Just in the nick, no, genuinely, I ran out of day before I was being picked up. It was terrible.
You're just sweating. Thinking about how you're going to be able to survive.
I kind of was. I was like, could I walk to uni? Because they have toilet. They must have toilet paper.
They're the ones that bought it all.
Well, they closed down, so apparently not. That's the main restriction, right?
It's all the tutors
all
holding
businesses are closed down because they don't have toilet paper.
Yeah, that's the reason everything's closed down. It's just no one can use the toilets. Without toilets, it's just what's the point?
Yeah, it's against human rights. That's why Italy's been on lockdown this whole time, because everyone has bidets, so no one has toilet paper, which means that technically they're breaking their human rights.
So they have to stay home.
Yes. With the bidets.
I guess that makes sense. I think. Not entirely sure.
I'm shocked that you think that makes sense.
Something seems off about it, but I mean, I can't put my finger on anything in particular that's glaringly obvious.
I'd make a great politician, as you can tell. I've got my priorities straight.
You probably do a better job than Trump, to be fair.
I'm really sad that that's actually true.
I
would just sit there and say, all right, you guys tell me what you need to do, and I'll facilitate that as best I can.
Yeah, that's... I honestly don't know how has the US continued to function as it is, as it has been, with him in charge.
There is currently a financial crisis, and America is in serious trouble, with protests, potentially riots, and people are dying in hospitals.
I guess I mean
well funded,
stocked, pre-pandemic.
I mean, it wasn't really. It was functioning for a lot of people, but it was absolutely terrible for others. The range in wealth in America is genuinely extreme. I mean, it's the same thing here, but there are more social measures here.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say they function as well, but they do function.
I don't get it, because I was holding out hope. I mean, I guess I still hold out hope that maybe he's the slightest bit intelligent, and this is a front. But
he said on air, "Can we do something about putting disinfectant into the body and getting that to kill things?" He didn't tell people to inject bleach. He sarcastically, and if I had a camera, you would be seeing the mother of all air quotes here, sarcastically, 3 days after the fact, said, It was a sarcastic comment for reporters like you, and it's this doesn't seem quite right, Mr. President.
That's such a baby answer.
It's like it's Schrodinger's what is it? Schrodinger's Nazi or something.
Schrodinger's Nazi?
Yeah, so I think that's what it's called. I may correct myself next week. Who knows? I'm pretty busy. But it's the idea that it's if a Nazi makes a comment, it's a genuine comment until it's not. They're basically feeling up the room.
Yeah.
Right? So it was just a joke. It was just a joke. I didn't mean it. This wasn't a sexist comment. This was just a joke.
It's so stupid. Because he does do that quite a bit. Or, like, not that exact thing, but he does make comments and then, like, try and backtrack and just say it didn't happen, and he's being, like, it's all fake news.
God, can you imagine having, like, the spine of a bee?
Of a bee?
Yeah. And being president.
It's so stupid. The entire thing is just stupid.
And then our Prime Minister's had a baby, which is just fantastic. Any other time I'd be fine with it, but I kind of feel a bit bitter. It's like, no, hang on, wait.
I mean, they didn't...
I know they couldn't predict it. I'm not saying that
they can't just put the baby on pause.
I'm not saying it's his fault. All I'm saying is I'd like him to treat this child as he treats all of his other children, by completely ignoring them.
Oh God! Why have we had like 2 prime ministers? Like the last, well, I guess Theresa May was a kind of big prime minister.
I would say Theresa May has been a bigger prime minister than Boris Johnson. It just happens to be that too many big things have happened in succession during his sort of occupation of Downing Street that have caused me to forget Theresa May was even a prime minister. It's crazy because in my head it just goes Blair Johnson and there's nothing in between. Even though like I was more conscious for Brown and equally for Cameron, and Theresa May was a big part of my like. I'm an adult now.
Yeah, that was.
But no, Blair Johnson. That's the ordering. If anyone asks, the last 20 years didn't happen.
Can we just get a redo? Honestly,
oh God,
start over.
God, can we just Groundhog Day back 20 years?
I'd like that. There's so many things that we could do better. I'm sure.
Oh God, what if Trump right now is about to experience a real Groundhog Day? Right? Or like a Christmas Carol. So, you know, he'll get sent back to like 2000 where he was running as an independent.
Yeah.
And he'll be like, oh, I'm just going to do it the same way. But he keeps living 20 years at a time, and it really starts to drain him. But hang on, no way, he's a billionaire. It wouldn't matter. He would be able to spend hundreds of years doing nothing. And he wouldn't care. He'd never be a good person.
Probably not, no.
The only reason that, like... what's his name? Who did Bill Murray play in that film?
Just a TV guy.
No, but producer. I mean, like, what was his name? He had a name.
Scrooge?
Phil. It was Phil something.
Phil Scrooge.
Oh, Groundhog Day. Let's just look it up.
I thought you were talking about A Christmas Carol.
No, he never played Ebenezer Scrooge. Although it is weird to me how...
Wait, no, there was that one Christmas film where he did... It wasn't Ebenezer Scrooge, but it was like a TV producer version of Ebenezer Scrooge.
I don't know. I don't believe Bill Murray did this.
No?
Oh, Bill Murray does not look good for 69.
Does he not?
No offense, Bill Murray. I don't know. He doesn't seem to have aged that well.
Let's have a look.
Who knows if he looks good or not? Because like I look at Fauci, the man.
How old's Fauci?
80?
80?
I know, right?
What?
I want to look like it when I'm 80.
He doesn't look bad.
Although we'll never see him again. He is being put in the hole.
In the hole. Why is he being put in the hole?
Well, he said some things that were against Trump.
Oh.
I don't know why. Oh, God. I don't want to talk about coronavirus because everyone's talked about it to death, but I don't talk about it with anyone. So it just comes out on here.
It's like, the one.
Why can't I just talk about? I just want to talk about video games.
We can just talk about video games if you want.
Okay.
We definitely got stuff to talk about with it.
I hope so, because I've only played 2 video games in the past week, and it wasn't Sekiro.
What have you been playing then?
I have been playing Fallout 4.
Okay.
Ad nauseum.
Ad nauseum?
Yeah. I hate it, but I love it so much. I want to drown in Fallout 4.
It's comfort food.
Yeah, it's comfort food. It reminds me of a happier time where I was doing my A-levels and I also hated it. No, it reminds me because in geology, the entire table was talking about Fallout 4 because it came out in November.
Yeah.
So it was great because everyone on the table bar one person was talking about it, and you could see the light die in her eyes as she said the words, "My dad's been playing it too."
That's very good. Wow, so her entire life was just filled with other people playing Fallout and her not caring.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, what a terrible fate.
Although my opinions on Fallout have shifted quite a lot since 2015.
Yeah.
What were your... was my first real Fallout game. So I hated it at first because it did not run on my old computer at all.
Okay.
And then it got patched so it ran better. But the first time I played it at 23 FPS. So
I'm sorry, you got to play a game at 23 FPS?
Yeah.
I remember when I first started playing PC games and I was playing Minecraft at about 7 FPS.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
It was. But I'd never experienced PC games before, really. Apart from a magic school bus, really weird one which just had a load of different knockoff mini games. That was a weird time. Did you not play
Pajama Sam?
I didn't play Pajama. I don't know what that is.
I'm so mad.
What's Pajama Sam?
Oh God, hang on, I'll send you a link. Pajama Sam is the game that I played a huge amount when I was young because I have working parents. Who would have known? So I went to a kids club.
Unlike most people.
Unlike most people. So I went to a kids club because I lived way too far from my primary school. It was half an hour drive away.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It was a 5-minute walk.
It's because I joined the base of the year at the I think 2 months in. So it was every other school is full. Please go to this failing school.
Oh.
In the middle of town.
Oh no.
You know what Love Thy Burger is?
Yeah.
You know the school just down the road from there?
No, actually.
Well, there's a school down there. It was failing, and in traffic, it's a 30-minute drive, 40-minute drive on occasion, generally 30.
Jesus Christ.
We had to leave at 8 every day, and sometimes we actually wouldn't get there for 8:45.
Wow. That... I don't... Why that school?
It's the only one available. Everyone else was full at that point. They weren't accepting any more students.
Wow. I'm sure. It's a shame because my school would have been a 10-minute walk, a 15-minute walk away from you probably.
Are you kidding?
Yeah. It's even closer than college was. Okay, so this game actually seems okay.
So you're looking at Pajama Sam. No need to hide when it's dark outside.
Okay, I've never seen this before.
This is the exact game I played at the kids club.
So it's
I should point out, I was there in like 2008. The game was 12 years old when I was playing it.
Oh wow, yeah, 1996. Just 2 years before we were born.
I should also mention that I went from this to Warhammer 40k, the real-time strategy game.
Really?
These were the two games they had.
Wow. Okay.
They also had an N64 with GoldenEye, but when I hit year 6, I was allowed to go into like the back room, and I was the only person in year 6 at the time at the kids club. So I just had access to a computer that had Warhammer 40k on it, and I could play it from the moment I got there to the moment I left.
That honestly sounds pretty good. Wait, so you had an N64 there as well?
Yeah, there was an N64, there was a PS2, and there was a Wii.
That's actually pretty good. So nice setup.
Limited game availability, and there were like 30 kids.
Oh, okay.
Luckily, like the young kids just wanted to muck about and like play in the toys they had. So it was really 10 kids vying for 3 consoles, and I was the oldest, so I got to go into the big room.
To the big room. Wait, so what do you mean by the big room?
Well, it was the back room. So basically they said, like, there's a year 6 exclusive area at the time.
Okay. For one person.
Well, it was for any year 6s, because they didn't, it's really annoying when you're in year 6, and you've got to deal with a bunch of, like, year 1s, right?
Yeah.
So they would say, any year 6 can go in the back. And this was just a flat rule they had. But there weren't many year 6s who were there, because most year 6s could walk home and, for like an hour they'd be there. But I couldn't walk home because it was really far.
Yeah.
So I had to go to the kids club. It was great. My life is perfect.
Perfect.
I mean, so I just got to go into the back, being the only year 6, and there was one kid who was a month younger than me.
Yeah.
But I'm born in August.
Oh, so wow.
So they were year 5.
So just by 1 month difference.
Yeah. So they weren't.
Yeah. I always find that really weird with like school ages. Kids can be so close in age, like a whole year in development apart.
Well, I've got a suspicion about. I know we're back in coronavirus, but it's unrelated.
Let's hear it.
Which is, I think they're going to potentially move the school year to being January to December.
Really?
Because the amount of kids who are missing out on education right now is kind of high. So what they might do is they might say they're going to continue the school year until December as like to catch up, and then the school year will start again in January.
That would be interesting.
And that's sort of because that's how my granddad used to have it being done, and they changed it so that kids got a nice summer break.
Yeah. So
it's very possible that that's just how it's going to be.
I mean, a summer break. It's not going to affect me now, so I'd be fine with them changing it to that. But I imagine a load of kids would hate a winter break to be.
Well, So I'm not a big fan of the idea because, like, I do appreciate the fact that it's just nice for kids to have a 6-week break.
Yeah.
Like, it's not indicative of good learning, but it's just like we get it, right? It sucks.
Yeah.
Because like, essentially, from the age of 5, you're putting kids in full-time jobs.
Yeah.
But the job is you have to learn stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I've had a less rigid schedule since I got older than when I was a kid. Because of how schools are. And obviously it will flip back. It's going to flip back really hard if my plan of becoming a teacher turns into effect.
Yeah.
Because then I'm back on the whole thing. I'm back on the road.
Yeah. Except you don't have to learn it. You have to teach it.
No, I get to teach it, and
which will be nicer.
It's really it's weird because with this whole thing, I've just been thinking I really want to like help people who are doing their like GCSEs and A levels now.
Yeah.
Without good teaching support, and I think I can't because I got my own stuff to do, and like it would be more helpful for me to do this and then help them later. But it's like, I just want to do it. I just want to teach someone.
Yeah.
I'm a narcissist at heart.
Cool.
I need this.
You
Is that what a narcissist would do?
You need to prove to like 12-year-olds that you can do quadratics.
Yeah, I can do cubics, you nerds.
That's you just
something theta function.
Your entire like motivation to going into teaching is so you can flex on secondary school students, and then be I don't really care about maths though. I'm more a geography student. I don't really.
I was like, well, I did that too.
Yeah. Oh my god, you can. See, you got all bases covered. You can flex on them in every aspect.
Yeah, I mean the ideal here is teaching A level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd
be teaching you of like the future.
Wait, me of the future?
Well, yeah, because you did A level maths.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be teaching the news of the future. God,
yeah.
I'd hate past me. He's a prick.
I mean, your teachers were fine with you, weren't they?
Oh yeah, I completely ignored them. Basically, I mean, I'd listened to what they were teaching, but like, I did not strive to have a relationship with them in any meaningful.
You had a mutual understanding.
Yeah, I'm here, you're here. You teach me, I do the work. I get A's. We're good. And that was how it went. Except in one of them, I got a B.
Oh.
I know.
How could you get a B?
I know. It was mechanics as well.
I think I got mostly like C's in A level.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
I think people put too much emphasis on your A levels.
Yeah, it's kind of the same.
Although
with
I haven't
GCSEs.
gone into the working world, I don't know if that's true.
They're gonna. Do you think they're going to care about your A levels?
My accounting teacher said they would.
It's stupid if they do.
And she was like she had like a platinum bank account or something because she was like a proper accountant before she went into teaching, which I assume she did for the time off.
Yeah.
I don't know, because like the college is really weird, like the one we went to, because a load of people there worked in the private sector and had a lot of money. And then we're just teaching. I don't even get it.
Is this just because you were being taught by maths? Maybe. The maths teachers,
it could have been.
And they'd all been flipping accountants.
I don't want to confirm, but that might have actually just been it.
Because I highly doubt that like my electronics or music tutor were like making hundreds of thousands of pounds a year.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe
not that they were bad, just that why would they not be doing that right now?
Honestly, I think it's for the same reason I want to go into teaching, which is just like, I want a stable job.
Yeah.
I want a stable job with no surprises.
Okay, would you be okay with that though, if it was secondary school students that you were having to teach?
Maybe not.
Because
I don't want to deal with like
they're the worst.
Basically,
they're the absolute worst.
Yeah.
Do you think you'd be able to like gain the respect of like a bunch of year 9s and be able to?
Well, I couldn't do that when I was in year 9, so I don't think I'd be able to do it as an adult. I think it's harder because they don't respect you; they just are afraid of you. And it's like the thing is, like I
think it would be. I don't think it would matter if like you were a popular kid when you were going there. I don't think that would. I
would be popular with the nerdy. I don't. Nerdy's probably the wrong word. I would be an unpopular teacher with myself because I would drive myself like a slave driver. I would absolutely teach like a teacher. I think we both know because I can't say it obviously. But I would absolutely teach like my maths teacher taught.
Yeah, I was gonna say actually, like,
and she was brutal.
Yeah,
yeah.
But like the class that you were in, like, well, from what I remember you saying, well, like, pretty much everyone was like on board with that. No.
On board is a tough term to use. It was more we actually respected her enough not to like deviate.
Yeah. See, I don't think you'd be at the same kind of level of intensity though. I think you'd be a bit more chill.
Not. Yeah, I'm pretty like provided they did what I wanted, I wouldn't be like that.
Yeah,
like tough. I think I would. So when I was saying I'd be like popular with nerdy ones, you know, the ones who are like not that smart but very diligent.
Yeah,
I think I'll be popular with them.
Yeah, just which is the people that kind of people like really trying.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm good at offering help, and I'm terrible at taking help. So I feel like this is the optimal scenario for being a teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, so I don't know if you do this, but when someone asks me a question, like over text message, and they're like, hey, what's this thing? I will go and Google it, and then tell them the answer. I could just tell them to go and Google it.
I like to be of help. If it's something that I actually can help on, I do like to try and be of assistance.
But do you think it would get like tiring?
Yeah, are you going to be one of those teachers that just sits at the front of the class, just hands out a worksheet?
It's really frustrating because that actually is a really good way of teaching people. Like, I know people don't want to hear it because they're like,
for some things.
Some people need to be engaged. And like, yeah, there's a difference between being engaged and learning, though, because math isn't a subject where it's like you hear it once, you do it. It's like you sit down and you do it 1,000 times until you can't get it wrong. Right? And like, well, I understand that because I've sat through it. I've done that whole thing.
Yeah, I really see her teaching style come through in your.
It's easier at lower degrees of mathematics, though, which is really unfortunate. Which is like there aren't really that many questions I can sit down and like do now.
Yeah.
In university, because it's like, wow, there's always slight like differences, or the questions aren't always the same, and there aren't actually just that many questions that you can find. You would have to write your own, and then you would have to find the answer. It's a pain. So,
not only do you have to answer the questions, you have to come up with the questions yourself.
Yeah.
That does seem annoying.
I like, the thing is, I am heavily influenced by this teacher.
Yeah. Had quite the impact.
She was a slave driver. I don't miss being a slave, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I would like to be a slave driver. No, wait, hang on. Don't take that out of context.
Yeah. That's not the kind of thing you want on record when you're applying to be a teacher.
It's true. Oh, it'd be rough if they found this. Like, you said you wanted to be a slave driver. I was like, no, that's... They wanted to work children like slaves.
You also said you wanted to kill kids in this one episode.
Did I? I don't remember.
Wasn't there one episode we were talking about that? I think it was AI Dungeon.
Oh, yeah, there was... Okay, alright. I did do that. I did torture a kid in AI Dungeon to see if the AI would do it.
Yeah. And the obvious next step is, being a teacher at a school and doing it in real life.
I can only imagine the AI Dungeon would make that leap. And it's like, I would like to torture the kid. A school forms around you.
Oh. I haven't gone back to that since then.
I've mucked around with it a bit. The problem with it is it does get itself into like very similar loops.
Yeah.
So you'll tell it I jump, and then it will pretty much make the same story from there.
Even if you come up with your own prompt?
It will incorporate the prompt, but it's more determined by what you put than the original prompt. So
okay.
It's had some updates where you can tell it to remember things specifically.
Yeah. Oh, wait, really?
Yeah, it's not perfect.
That's kind of cool.
It's really fun for like every so often.
Yeah,
but it's not. I'd
like to go back to it again now.
I would not say it's like I sit down and play it like Fallout is.
Yeah,
and we're back. We did the loop.
Oh, we're back to games again.
Yeah,
finally. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you not remember where we were?
What? Well, I'm just thinking, like, because you were in the middle of like talking about teaching and stuff.
Nah, it's fine.
Okay, we'll just go straight to games. This
will be a thing, right? So over the next 2 years, which this podcast will definitely last for, and it definitely won't end in like a year.
100 years reconnected.
100 years reconnected every day, reconnected, whatever, right? So this will be like a development of like my soul being sucked from my body as I teach people.
We'll like capture it on audio, just the various stages of just wanting to teach kids, struggling with that, overcoming with that, and then just slowly getting beaten down by
Hugo
years.
For this.
Who?
We could get Hugo for this. It's the writing thing.
What?
It's a writing award.
Oh, I had no idea what that was.
It could be great. It could also be terrible, though. It could be like the most boring thing where it's like, yeah, I learned how to teach people. Look at me.
Yeah.
I haven't committed any crimes, so they didn't catch anything.
And also, I mean, if someone was to, like, try and learn about this as well, they'd have to sift through a lot of other stuff.
It's true. We could just do it at the beginning, though, couldn't we?
Just and
then we could stitch it together as, like, a big thing at the end of the year.
Yeah. Lewis's development as a teacher.
Does he want to die yet?
Has already killed 4 of his students. Currently in jail.
I haven't committed any crimes, so they shouldn't find anything on my thing, on my like search.
on the search?
Well, yeah, because they have to check that you're not like unsuitable to work with children.
Yeah, you're not on any registers.
I don't think I am.
Yeah,
it would be concerning if I was, because I don't know.
Yeah. The FBI is the FBI has seen this podcast and then contacted British intelligence and asked that you be put on a register.
Yeah, I think that would be the case, but it's fine because no more teaching.
Yeah,
we're done with this.
Yeah, no more teaching.
Maybe. Who knows?
For this episode.
This episode is going to be about Sekiro, apparently, according to you.
Yeah.
And then Fallout, and then something else, probably.
I got a couple of things about Sekiro, because I did the Allfather fight, and...
What did you think?
I think it's probably the best boss in the game.
Yep.
It is.
Okay. Looks like we're in agreement.
Wasn't all that hard.
He's really slow.
Yeah. I like the amount of different moves he has. I like that they're not unfair. You can actually counter them. It's very fun. It's a very fun boss fight. I think
my favorite thing about him is when he throws the like crackers. You get caught in them, you get stunned. But even if you don't get caught in them, they completely obscure your view, so you don't have that long to react to whatever's coming afterwards.
Yeah. I think it's a good boss. A lot of fun things in it.
God, he hits like a truck though if he hits you.
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
It's just you perish.
I think. Well, that's something I've got to say about Sword Saint. But I just thought I'd quickly mention I beat Allfather on my 4th try, which I'm quite happy with.
I did not. It took me like 20 attempts.
This is after like
5 playthroughs.
Yeah.
And you beat Sword Saint, which is I think a harder fight.
I died more to the mini boss, but just before him, because that area is
drunkard
horrible.
One or the other one?
The drunkard one. Because
the dog one is bullshit.
The dog one's fine. It is bullshit, but you just have to keep attacking him.
Yeah,
and don't let him.
Which is how I beat him.
Don't let him blow the whistle. That's
I don't.
If he does, then you're gonna have a bad time. But the the mini boss after that area is so stupid.
I think you're going to be mad when I tell you that I did beat him on my second attempt.
It's so stupid, though, because not only do you have to fight a drunkard, which they're not...
Are easy. Because he's poison on a fire one, which means that you don't get, like, screwed by fire.
Like, if it was just the drunkard, that would be
just
fine.
The drunkard.
It's not.
It is. You have to... You learned in that section the first time you did it, that you have to go and stealth kill the enemies around him and then kill him.
You can't.
You can.
Oh, what? But I don't know how to then, because there were a load of other enemies, and there was a flippin' shinobi.
You have to kill the shinobi.
But then look, the drunkard and the shinobi were facing each other, so you can't
you
get
have
up
to aggro
behind
them both and then hide. The drunkard will lose you, and the shinobi won't.
Yeah, that's how I ended up doing it.
And then you fight the shinobi, or you could whistle.
Yeah. That I just hated that area because it's not fun. It doesn't challenge you in any particular way. You just abuse the game's like aggro mechanics, and just that's.
I don't think that section's really doable without abusing aggro mechanics, though.
If you had to, because there's a load of small enemies. There's an actual, and there's essentially 2 mini bosses. That's so unfair. You can't be expected to be able to do that fight.
Both times I've done that area, I've hated it.
I see. Without that, if it was only the other mini boss before that, I'd be absolutely fine. Like I'd love to do that area again because I like that you don't have to go through Hirata Estate again. You just
that was the best part. It's just like here, it's like boom, spawned in.
You start and you get to do a mini boss as soon as you spawn in. You're not having to like do a load of smaller enemies.
Did you lure him out into the not everything on fire area?
No.
Oh wow!
I just went in.
Every time he hit me, he pushed me into fire, and then I would be standing on it for half a second too long.
That's really like. I don't know why. That's a thing that like they allowed to be in the game because you can just get pushed and then you just end up taking like half your health in like flame damage just because the game put you on fire.
Yeah, I remember I was fighting like 7 spears the second time. Like there aren't many fire patches, but like he has an attack that pushes you back about like 10 feet. And then he'll just charge in again. So if you're within 10 feet of fire, you are now on fire and potentially knocked down. It depends if your posture broke, and you're just dead.
Yeah.
Because you can't get up and run in that time. And then he's on you, so like there's nothing you can do in that scenario.
The best way I've found to like do that small area is just to have the other enemy just fall off the cliff.
I scalped him.
I tried to do that. Oh no! Oh yeah, you can like.
You can use the sugar.
The sugar. Oh.
Or okay. Well, I guess if you've beaten the headless, you can use the posture thing too.
I just like got his attention, and then, like as he's walking up the staircase towards you, I just like jumped through the fire, took a little bit of damage, and then just went up behind him. That was another way. I found to kill him.
I'll say this until I die. The end game of Sekiro is kind of bad.
What, like the final section?
Yeah,
with,
the
like,
bosses
Demon
are
Patron?
all fine in the end game. I have no problem with them. But it's just all of the areas that lead to them are sort of unfun slogs.
Yeah.
Of just like, well, this fight isn't hard, so we've put in another enemy. That's like, yeah, but that's not like doubling the difficulty. That's like octupling it.
And also making it a lot less fun.
Yeah, because like, well, now I'm not really attacking or posturing. It's just I'm going to abuse your bad AI.
Yeah.
Which the other Souls games, I don't think fell into that at any point. I never felt like when I was fighting Soul of Cinder, I was abusing his bad AI. I was avoiding his wombo combo.
Oh.
Why do they do this? So many of their bosses are like, oh, by the way, here's an instant kill combo if you got hit.
Yeah. Same with Sword Saint as well.
Does he have an instant kill combo?
Or well, okay. I mean, I was playing with like 2 debuffs and on New Game Plus.
Why were you debuffed?
So I was playing without Kuro's Charm, so I was taking damage if it wasn't a perfect deflect, and I was also playing with Demon Bell.
Why?
Because I wanted to do one playthrough where I do that, and it just so happened this was also New Game Plus, so enemies were more difficult, and you took more damage.
Well, that sucks.
Yeah. Turns out Sword Saint is absolute horseshit in that configuration. It probably took me. I actually, okay. In terms of time, it probably took me around 4 hours to beat Sword Saint. I would say.
Oof.
Yeah.
I only spent like 10 minutes trying to fight him.
And it's only because of this. I guess if we're not counting Genichiro, the second.
Which I hate. We've said this last week. I hate that he's there.
It's fine. I don't mind it. Well, okay. I definitely did mind it when I was like fighting him probably like around 40 or 50 times.
Yeah, it's the problem with it. It's like, well, he's not super hard to fight, but he does have an instant kill if you like aren't paying attention.
Yeah, you have to for that whole fight though. You pretty much have to be on your A game the entire time. There's like, oh yeah, his insta kill combo, because they're basically if you mess up a deflect, if you're not perfectly deflecting in this one combo, your posture gets completely destroyed. If you don't deflect every single hit, your posture is completely destroyed because it just hits that hard. So just yeah, so many times were just so many deaths were caused by that. Pretty much most of them. If I was getting to that point, and then
Is that phase 3 thing?
Phase 3 was fine actually. Like because when
Is phase 2 the hard one?
Phase 2 is when he first pulls out the spear. Yeah, it's awful because
I hate his like charge attack thing. By the way,
his charge attack.
I can consistently deflect it, but I hate it because it's kind of just like nothing, everything.
Oh wait, when he's thrusting the spear forward? Or...
No, with the sword, or you know, he puts it into the sheath and then draws it,
yeah,
and then like pulls 2 attacks out of nowhere. It's like I can deflect it,
yeah,
but stop.
Please. Wait, do you get up close to him with that, or do you stay away?
I step back a bit. It gives me like half a second more to like prepare for the deflect.
Oh, okay,
and then he's on me, and I can instantly hit him back.
Because I was watching. I watched a boss ranking video, and like someone was using a different
Demon
tactic.
of Hatred at the top or the bottom.
They didn't put him as high as
I feel like you're about to say he's at number 6.
I think he was probably around there.
Was this how good they are or how hard they are?
How I think this wasn't how good they were as boss fights. This was the impression they left. So like just their entire.
I disagree then.
Presence.
I think the impression Demon of Hatred left was very severe. I would put it as the worst boss in the game, and also the one that left the biggest mark on me as a person.
Okay. I mean, it is impactful. It definitely is that.
Very much impactful.
Yeah. Funnily enough, Demon of Hatred on that run through took me like 4 tries. It's like really,
Well,
really
I guess
didn't
to be
take
fair,
too
the
long.
debuff doesn't really affect you, does it? Because the debuff of the bell is that you get hit really hard.
Yeah, if you're not
and
getting hit.
The debuff of Kuro's charm is you can't deflect. But you can't deflect him anyway, really.
Yeah. Yeah,
and if you do, it's always perfect, because he's so easy to actually deflect.
That whistle makes it so much nicer as well. I can't believe I didn't know about that before.
He's technically an apparition, I guess.
It makes sense, I think.
I'm going to say it makes sense, so I don't have to think about it.
Yeah. Just leave it.
Which is how I do everything in life.
Just don't think about it, and then it's not real. It can't hurt you.
It's good advice. Don't think about it.
Yeah, don't think about the advice as well. It's, but yeah, Sword Saint sucks. I like the without the buffs, the debuffs. Absolutely fine fight. I like it. That was just way too hard.
So what you're saying here is, in ultra hard mode, Sword Saint is ultra hard.
Yeah.
Thanks for the lesson there. I did appreciate it. Did you know that water is so wet?
Oh, what, really? I had no idea. Let me see. Oh wow, you're right. Oh, it also hydrates you as well. I had no idea.
I'm glad you've learned something today.
Yeah, this is a learning podcast. See, we talk about teaching and we talk about learning. Every week there's a new fact.
And here's a new fact today.
Yeah.
Fallout 4.
What's the new fact?
It's still hot garbage.
Oh. Well, it's an update on a previously known fact.
Okay, here's my new complaint.
Yeah.
The affinity system.
The affinity system.
Yeah. So, in Fallout, there are companions.
Mm-hmm.
In Fallout New Vegas, there was like Veronica and Boone and a bunch of other things there. And then there's like Forks and Rex. I think it's Rex. Maybe Rex is in New Vegas. But in 3, that's what you've got some companions there. So the way they did them is, when you travel around with them, they will, like, in certain areas, certain dialogue will be said. And that will give them, like, a point, or it will, like, trigger something for their character to say. And if you get enough of them, their quest will start.
Okay.
So, in a lot of ways, it's kind of unfair to new players, which I think I said about Fallout New Vegas last week as well, is that it's a really good game if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
But it's actually not if you don't.
Yeah.
And the reasoning behind this is this thing. So, Veronica as a companion, she has to hear some, like, she has to see new settlements that are, like, thriving in the Mojave. And then her quest will start, which will allow her to do some Brotherhood of Steel stuff, blah, 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 quest. In Fallout 4, that's not how they do it.
No.
Here's how it works in Fallout 4. Each character has a list of things that they like and dislike and love and hate.
Okay.
If they like it, I think it adds 15 points.
Yeah.
And if they love it, it adds 35.
Oh, this is like the flipping where the meme comes from.
Yeah, this is where the meme comes from.
Everyone liked this.
Everyone liked this.
Yeah.
So, I hate this system.
Okay.
I think fundamentally it's good.
But
like,
why?
It's bare bones. It's sort of like, I appreciate this as a concept.
Yeah.
But I think the way it is done is kind of terrible, mainly because of how companions are done. So, Here's what you get if you get a companion up to maximum affinity. You get a perk.
Okay.
And the perk's a permanent effect. You don't have to have the companion with you.
Yeah.
Which incentivizes you to get all the companions up.
Yeah.
because they all provide a perk. Let's talk about farming companion affinity.
Yeah. Is this is where it gets bad, I'm assuming?
Well, you know who I am.
Weirdly enough, yeah.
What do I want to do?
Play the game?
I want to get all the companions affinity to maximum.
Oh, that's what you were getting
as fast as possible.
Okay, and is this not such a fun thing to do?
So, let's just talk about the base game of Fallout 4, because I haven't played the DLCs too much, so I don't know much about them. But in Fallout 4, there are 9 companions? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, I think.
Okay.
Sorry, there are 12. I miscounted one. You've got Kate, Codsworth, Curie, Dance, Deacon, Hancock, McCready, Nick, Piper, Preston, Strong, and X688.
Okay.
These are the companions.
Yeah.
Okay. There are blatantly better companions than others. Like, Nick Valentine is the best companion in the game.
Yeah.
Piper kind of annoys me. Strong is terrible. Kate is a fun character, but she's severely let down.
Yeah.
So
why is she severely let down?
Each character has their own like set of principles, right? This is like a character thing that they should do for all characters.
Yeah.
It's a logical thing.
Yeah.
So the way that you get into Kate's good books is you are either mean or selfish or violent to people. If you give her drugs before her quest, and if you like pick locks and pickpocket.
Okay.
Also, if you're naked.
Okay.
Which, sure.
So you're all around just bad person.
Kinda. So you pick loads of locks in Fallout. So getting Kate up to maximum affinity just sort of passively happens.
Yeah.
So provided you're just playing it, you're fine. Kate hates if you help the Brotherhood, the Minutemen, the Railroad, the Institute, or help settlers or accept Minutemen quests, but doesn't care if you kill settlers or Railroad members. That's every faction in the game.
Okay, so you can't...
Every main quest giver, she does not like you helping.
So that... Okay, that seems really stupid. Why? So you can't... So if you want to, like, get her to max affinity, just don't do the main game.
Yeah, so I was playing the game really, like, we discussed this last week. I'm playing it like a degenerate.
Yeah.
I'm like level 53 and I haven't started the main quest properly, really.
Yeah.
I think I've just entered Diamond City because I had to do a different quest than the main quest.
Yeah.
So I got Kate up relatively simple, but if you're actually playing the game, it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
But in some ways it's fine, because you can only get one positive or negative reaction per action, per, like, 3 hours or something.
Yeah.
So if I pick one lock, and I get affinity for it, and then a minute later I pick another lock, I won't get affinity for that.
Okay.
I have to wait 3 to 5 hours. Which, whatever.
Yeah.
So that's kind of it's okay for pick locks and stuff. Here's where it gets fun. Strong, my least favourite companion. And I've only ever gotten into max affinity once, and that was this run.
Why is that then?
He likes you being generous. He likes you being peaceful. And he likes you being violent.
Wait, what?
He's a super mutant, so he likes it if you kill non-hostile NPCs.
Okay.
And he likes it if you help Minutemen, settlers, etc.
Okay.
I'm not going to go into the specific ones because there's just a big list of like very quest-specific things that aren't helpful. Here's what he doesn't like: healing dog meat, being naked, picking locks, pickpocketing, theft, using power armor, using vertibirds, speech success, being mean or being selfish.
Okay.
He doesn't like if you help the Brotherhood or the Institute. Other than that, we're all clear. It's fine.
Yeah. So a lot of opposites to the other one.
Yeah. So as you may have noticed there, the only like repeatable thing you can do to get strong up that I have mentioned is do Minutemen quests.
Okay.
So that sucks.
Yeah.
There's one other thing you can do.
One other.
Yep.
What is?
And it's the way I did it, and it's the most boring way possible, but it's better than doing Minutemen. Like you would have to do. Let's be generous. Let's call it 20 points per quest.
Yeah.
Let's do a quick division. Make sure I get the maths right. You would have to do 50 Minutemen quests to get strong to max affinity, provided you didn't lose a single piece of affinity.
What?
And let me remind you, picking locks, which is the best way to get like ammo and caps and loads of loot, unavailable to you because you will lose affinity.
And you'd still have to do it 50 times.
You'd still have to do it 50 times.
That's insane.
So here's how I did it. I spent 2 perks on getting the cannibalism and better cannibalism perk.
Okay.
And then I just ate people. 1 corpse every 3 hours.
Oh, no.
50 times.
Oh, Jesus.
So,
I mean, that seems better than doing quests.
But most of the gameplay there was I'm going to press space on an enemy, I'm going to go and sit in a chair, I'm going to press T, I'm going to click 3 hours, and then I'm going to repeat 50 times, or until I run out of corpses.
That's insane.
That's not gameplay.
No.
But that's the best way of leveling them up. Now, there's an argument here that's like, well, you shouldn't be exploiting it. Like, it's your own fault. That's why you found it boring. But the alternative is do 50 Minutemen quests.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, you're gaming it a bit, but that's like, how is natural, or how is more natural progression meant to occur?
Well, you're just meant to be nice to every NPC you meet, but there's not enough quests in Fallout 4 for that to be a viable strategy for the 6 people that's available for.
I imagine you'd still have to do quite a few Minutemen quests.
Oh, yeah, like, there's no way, because you'd have to do 50 quests, or, like, 50 quote-unquote nice checks, or generous checks, sorry. But then you can't do another one for 3 hours. So you would still have to wait 3 hours before you could do another nice, like, thing.
Yeah. That seems like it would really, like, in any playthrough where you're trying to get them to max affinity, it seems like there's going to be a certain amount of gaming it.
So I can see what they're going for, right? Is you find an NPC that you like and like fits your play style, you get them to max affinity, and you get a perk.
I guess they're not thinking about you wanting to do all of them.
Well, that's the thing. I think they were.
Yeah?
So, the problem is that... Not problem, but, like, you can level up multiple people at once by doing Minutemen quests in a base that you have all of your NPCs that like Minutemen quests being completed. Because they will count as being near you, and they'll get the affinity.
Yeah.
So you only have to do 50 Minutemen quests total if you unlock every NPC and put them in one location.
Okay.
I'm not going to count that as being a good solution.
Yeah.
Because you shouldn't be... Like, if you're against just eating a bunch of corpses for, like, an hour and a half, because waiting takes ages in Fallout, and so just getting in and out... The chair animation is one of the longest parts of that process.
That's so annoying.
Yeah, if
you're like trying to repeat something, and then there's an animation that takes like 5 seconds. There's no point to it.
Yeah, I was basically just watching TV while I did this.
This is the only sane way to do it.
But like, if you're against me eating corpses because it's gaming the system, you should be equally against me looking up where all the like NPCs are, finding out which ones like the Minutemen, and putting them all in one settlement and doing a bunch of Minutemen quests.
Yeah.
And it's still 50 of them.
It's so dumb.
It's
That
really
sounds
dumb.
like it takes so long.
So Strong is probably one of the biggest offenders. Because Strong is completely opposed to every playstyle in Fallout. You would think, oh, it's fine, because he's just a super mutant who kills people. But yeah, but you can't pick locks. You can't open doors with this NPC.
What reasoning is that? What reasoning is that? Is that there for?
Well, it's like, well, Strong doesn't like you being sneaky. But it's like, yeah, but you don't give me the option to bash open the lock.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. If there was an option to open the lock forcefully, but potentially, like, jam the lock so you can't open it anymore, I would accept that. I was like, yeah, well, this is the consequence, right? You play aggressively, there's this risk.
Yeah.
But no. So that doesn't exist. That's one NPC. And here's my favourite part. This is the reason I wanted to complain about it. There's only 4 NPC quests over 12 companions.
Yeah.
So Kate gets one, Curie gets one, Dance gets one, and McCready gets one. Oh, so does Nick, actually.
Okay.
That's it, I think. I may be wrong. Let me check. Let's not lie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7, sorry.
These
There's 7
particularly
over 14.
long quests?
Kate's is go to Vault 75 and fight through to the end. So it's just a dungeon.
Okay.
It's a vault, so it's a bit more interesting, but fight through to the end and then tell her to get into the machine and you will cure her chem addiction.
Okay.
Not great.
Yeah.
I think it's better than what Codsworth and Deacon and Dogmeat. I mean, Dogmeat's not going to have a quest. He's literally a dog.
Find dog food.
Yeah, like Dogmeat doesn't care. Dogmeat's great because Dogmeat doesn't care what you do, but gives you all of the lone survivor perks. So you get like 100 extra carry capacity if you've taken that perk. So you still get someone to hang around with you. It's nice.
Yeah.
Nick gets a really good quest. I mean, I've said Nick is the best companion, which is just blatantly true. He's involved in the Far Harbor DLC, the main plot, his own side quest. Basically, every other side quest in the game has Nick dialogue for. I think they made Nick and were like, well, we can't make everyone else better than Nick because no one will take him and have all the effort we put in wasted. So everyone else is garbage.
They just put too much effort in this one person.
I mean, you can tell which companions they want you to travel with by which ones have quests. So, ignoring the 2 DLC ones, you've got Nick and McCready. McCready is a character from Fallout 3. He was a child in Fallout 3 and is an adult in Fallout 4. I've never done his quest. I don't know how good it is. I will tell you how good it is once I've done his quest.
Okay.
He's really awkward as well, though.
Yeah.
Kinda. Yeah, well, he doesn't like you helping the Minutemen, I don't think. Sorry, he doesn't like you helping the Institute. He's actually kind of good, actually. Sorry, my bad. Provided you're not nice to people, he's fine.
Okay. You just gotta be a dick to everyone.
So he's like selfish, violent, and mean acts as well as... No, not mean acts. He likes sarcasm instead. And luckily on the Fallout wheel, there's yes, 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 but later, and sarcasm. You get yes.
Okay.
So there's always an option for leveling up McCready, I guess.
Yeah.
He's just a bit of a pain because I've never done him, so I don't know what I should be doing except Minutemen quests. But I refuse to unlock the Minutemen.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like Preston that much. Curie has a quest. Curie is a robot who you turn into a human, basically. It's an okay quest. You can't do Dance's quest unless you have done a load of Brotherhood quests. He's tied to them, which is fine. Not a big fan because it's not super personal, but fine.
Yeah.
But I said his name both ways now, so everyone gets to be annoyed at me.
Yeah, you get to piss off everyone.
Yep. Kate gets the drug quest, and then Ada, who is a DLC character, has the entire automaton quest line. The entire DLC is her quest.
This seems very, unbalanced.
Yeah. And Nick has, a major thing in Far Harbor, too. So, basically, Nick and Ada get... both the robots get a huge amount of stuff.
It's robot bias.
It is robot bias. I'm infuriated by it. Yeah, everyone else, you just get them to 100 affinity, and you get the perk.
Yeah.
Which is sad, because I feel like each person should have had their own quest. I would like less companions with more depth than more companions. Because I can only travel with one at a time.
Having better quests is almost always, a more desirable thing.
Because I did Codsworth, and I cheesed Codsworth as well, because I didn't want to travel with him.
Yeah.
The robots get so much love in Fallout 4, it's unreal. But, Codsworth doesn't have a quest. So here's how you level up Codsworth.
Okay.
Without doing the tedious, thing that would take 12 hours.
Yeah.
So you take him to a settlement. You build a weapons bench and an armor bench. You then modify your weapon and armor, and then sleep for 2 days, and then do it again.
Okay.
How do you feel? It's like doing the other one, but worse.
Why are there these, this isn't... You said it before. This isn't, gameplay. This is just doing a few actions and repeating.
The reason this
doesn't sound fun
is because what you're meant to do is you're meant to, leave Codsworth at a settlement, or maybe have him with you, and every time you modify your armor, because you won't really be doing it every 3 hours, he's like, oh, that's really good, that's a great thing, and you do it with your weapon too, and he'll say that as well. So he gets a Codsworth loves you when this happens, which is generously 35 points, although I don't think it actually is. So it's about 70 points overall, technically. No, sorry, I think it's 35 points for both of them, because they nerfed it.
Yeah.
But the problem is Codsworth doesn't have a quest. He's not overly interesting until Automaton, and the only reason he's interesting in Automaton is because you can modify him. So he's no longer a Mr. Handy. You can turn him into a sentry bot with massive legs, really bulky armor, and missiles. But then he can't go into doors, so he can't be used anyway.
Oh.
It does say on it though, don't do this. This basically breaks everything. This is only for a joke. It's we're letting you do it. Don't. Please. Protectron, fine. Not this. Which I'm okay with. I think it's, I would rather have the freedom to do something dumb and have it not work than, and it says it won't work, then you can't do this just because.
Yeah.
Even though there are scenarios where it would work.
That's fair.
You level up Paladin Dance the same way. I won't be. I'm gonna do it legit and do Brotherhood of Steel quests.
Yeah.
It's a major infuriating thing, this companion system. Because you can see in it, there's this glimpse of hope.
Yeah.
Of, your actions in the Commonwealth make your companions like or dislike you more or less. But it just turns into, this is a game, I'm going to do it so that I get the perk and then I send them away.
Yeah.
If it said you could only have one companion perk at a time, I would understand it more.
Because then you're actually just... You only ever have to do one.
Yeah, but they're not good enough to justify it, by the way.
No.
No, it's while below 25% health, do 20% more weapon damage. It's it's melee weapon damage. It's I'm playing melee, I can teleport around the world, and I have massive strength and endurance. I'm never going to be that low on health.
I forgot you were using VATS with melee.
It's so fun! You could just
it
teleport.
It does sound really very fun.
It also does like way more damage because like the VATS in Fallout games provide resistance to damage, which is another thing why I don't get this strong perk. Where it's like, yeah, but I'm basically invulnerable.
Yeah.
Like, it's to the degree where a super mutant suicider can run up to me and suicide on top of me and I'll instantly die. But if I'm in VATS, I'll take like a quarter of my health and damage.
Okay. That's
VATS resisted to... It's also because I'm standing still, I guess. Yeah, so it's incredibly useful.
Hmm.
The best one, I think, is Preston's, which is like, united we stand while fighting... So damage resistance is increased by 20 points, and you deal 20% more damage when outnumbered at least 3-1. So if I'm fighting 3 enemies, I get 20% more damage, which is way better than being on 20% health and only getting weapon damage, like melee damage.
Yeah.
So in short, I'm very sad.
That's the takeaway from this.
That's the takeaway. You can make your own companions as well, which I think is really funny.
You can make your own?
Yeah, so in Automatron... So in Automatron... What's it called? What's the DLC called? You know, you've played it. Yeah. In Automatron, the DLC, it's the DLC that lets you modify Curie and Codsworth to make them like sentry bots or firefighters or something.
Okay.
So you can construct your own. You can make your own Automatron.
Yeah.
And you can make them a companion, and you can put lockpicking and hacking on them, and that you can make them incredibly durable or carry other stuff or like whatever. Like, you can basically customize a companion to do whatever you want, which is great.
Yeah.
No perk, but you made him, so who cares?
Yeah,
I think it's cool.
You guys customize them how you want, have them suit your playstyle anyway.
Exactly. They're relatively expensive, but you just, level 15, the quest starts, and you're good.
Okay.
I'm very mad that all the DLC is better than the main game, but I'm not going to do the DLC until I've done most of the main game.
And just get the bad stuff out of the way first.
Well, it's also that I want to be able to take a Nick with me to Far Harbor, because he's got a bunch of dialogue there. And I've never heard it properly.
Yeah.
So I want to do that. And I think Nuka World, you get your own companions there anyway. But like, I want to go to Nuka World when I'm really OP, because it's just really dumb fun. It's meant to be dumb fun.
Yeah.
And Automatron, I can do at any time, really. It takes place in the main world. It's the only DLC that takes place in the world as is. So I'll do that when I feel like, I guess.
Okay.
But let me make a complaint. I'm not known for doing so, you know.
This conversation hasn't just been a complaint.
It hasn't been a big whinge.
Yeah, this will be your first complaint for this conversation.
It's such a minor, petty complaint, but I think it really does exemplify the problem with the game.
Yeah.
So I was doing a quest for the railroad.
Okay.
It was they basically said, "Hey, you need to go to this location, pick up this thing from this chest, and come back." It's a Radiant quest. It's like, go here, kill things, come back. So the railroad smuggles synths out of the Commonwealth. That's the plot. That's what they do.
Okay.
They sent me to Arcadia. Not to Arcadia, but they sent me to Far Harbor, which is in Maine, in the US. So it's hundreds of miles from where the main game takes place. They sent me there to set up a base, to smuggle synths to the Commonwealth, to send them out of the Commonwealth.
What?
The Radiant quest system doesn't quite make sense. You will frequently be sent hundreds of miles away to Far Harbor to do Radiant quests for people. And it's like, why? Why? There's no point to this.
Yeah, I don't really get it either.
By the way, I hadn't started Far Harbor. So I hadn't even gained access to the area that I needed to go to.
But you were being told to go there.
But I was being told to go there. To do a quest that could have been anywhere else. It was not dependent on being in Far Harbor.
It's just... Okay. They just chose it to be there for no reason.
Yeah. Which I'm not playing on survival difficulty, so this doesn't matter to me. But someone playing on survival, this is really terrible. Because on survival, there is no fast travel.
So you have to actually travel quite a long way.
You have to physically walk to the top of the map, get in a boat, then walk to the location on Far Harbor, and then walk back.
That's annoying.
Why?
They want the world to be big, and they want people to go and explore it.
Well, I like that you can't fast travel on survival. I think it's one of the best parts about it.
Yeah.
It makes you plan your trips, because you have to eat and drink too. So you will, like, plot your route sort of suboptimally for going to your location, but so that you can hit as many quests as you can on the way.
Yeah.
But you've got weight limits as well, so it encourages you to set up bases. It justifies the settlement system way more than it did in base game.
Okay.
So it's a really good addition that really suffers by some key things being like, you're being sent around the map for no reason.
Yeah.
Because these are radiant quests. So you can't really gain XP as easily, which I guess is the point, but it just seems like you should have kept it in the Commonwealth. It's a very minor complaint that I'm very annoyed with.
Okay.
It was mainly because I had to go and start Far Harbor so that I could go and complete a miscellaneous quest. Let me kill things, damn it!
So all I want to do in this game.
RPGing.
Yeah. I don't want RPG in this RPG.
It's not good enough RPG to, like, keep me invested. That's the problem with it.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, well, my choice doesn't matter. I might
issue.
as well just kill things and level up and then come back once I've got a bunch of, like, just so I can sort of be like, oh yeah, Preston, you want help? I can do that. And then one-shot the Deathclaw that comes out of the hole.
Yeah.
Just be funny.
Sometimes
it's nice to feel powerful.
Yeah.
Sometimes it sucks, which is why survival exists.
Just add a bit more challenge.
Yeah. I think that's all of my complaints, I think.
There may be more next week. You'll discover something else.
I don't know how much time I'm going to get over the next week. I'm very busy. That sounds like sarcasm. I'm really busy.
A lot of coursework.
Yeah, and then straight into exams. It's going to be fun.
It sounds very fun.
But I have been introduced to a new game by a good friend of the show, Tom. He doesn't know the show exists. And
friend of the show doesn't even know.
Friend of someone on the show.
Yeah.
Because For the King is free on Epic Games Store.
Okay.
Well, was. It's not anymore.
What kind
Definitely isn't by the time this comes out.
What kind of game is this then?
It's hard to... It's basically... How do I describe it? I want to say it's D&D on TV. It's not. It's like a board game on a computer, which sounds dumb, but it is.
Okay.
So what you'll do is you'll start in a town in the base game. You'll start in Abstract Town A. You'll have 3 characters if you play single player, or you'll have 2 if you play 2 player, or you'll have 3 if you play 3 player.
Okay.
I'm gonna say the game is better alone than with people somehow.
Yeah.
Maybe. It's basically because it's got this awkward co-op system. So in the base game, you control all 3 characters.
Okay.
So that's okay. Yeah, that's what it is. In 2 player, you control 1 character, and you have 1 less. And in 3 player, you control 1 character, and they have a character too. So what ends up happening is you're playing a third as much.
Yeah.
But also your strategy can basically be determined by the best player on the team.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
I think they're just kind of leading things.
I'm going to give an example because this might help. So I was playing a co-op board game with like Joanna and Pet Ben and stuff.
Yeah.
And what ends up happening is the person who's best at the game will tell everyone what to do because they're right. It's the best thing to do in that given moment.
Okay.
but they know that for every scenario, and they very rarely make big mistakes that can be caught by the worst players. So it's essentially the best player micromanaging a bunch of worse players.
Okay.
So the worst players may not even be there.
Okay, so that's kind of... I can see why that would be kind of weird.
Yeah, so it's a bit awkward. So like when you play those kind of games, I feel like there should be some very openly stated unwritten rule that other players cannot talk on one person's turn.
Yeah.
And the thing is, this happens in D&D too, and I'm like super guilty about that. I'm working on like shutting the fuck up. Which is like, so one person will be doing something, and I'll be like, "Oh, you could do this thing."
Yeah.
And that's advice. But in a lot of ways, that can just be like, "This is the thing. Like, this is what I want you to do, and you should do this thing." And the more you do it, the more it just sounds like you're microing them.
Yeah.
And even if you're not, it's like, well,
it kind of detracts from it a bit because now you're just you're going outside of the role play.
Yeah, so it's a bit. It sucks. So but it's hard not to do as well because it's like, oh, I see this great plan.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you
just have to shut up and accept that this plan isn't going to happen.
Yeah.
Or like you should say like, this is an idea I have, and they'll be like, I'm not going to do it. And then if they don't do it, shut up. If the plan doesn't work, you can rub it in. Right, that's fine.
Yeah.
But like, shut up. Don't whine and get on with it.
Yeah.
This is the problem that For the King has, which is that you're all working together. So you never really want to go into a fight without an extra person with you because you'll be outnumbered and action economy will just take you down. Because generally your enemy is stronger than you are, and it's the synergy of your team that helps.
Okay.
But then that's a lie too, because there isn't really any synergy because you have a tank. There's a blacksmith who has a shield and a hammer who can like negate all damage from attacks. But his taunt has like an 80% chance of working. If it doesn't work, the enemy can attack anyone on the team. Why? Why is it not guaranteed I'm going to taunt? You're going to take the damage.
Yeah.
Or like, it's... Because basically the way that each attack works is, let's take a sword as an example. The sword will have like an attribute tied to it. Be that... I mean, it's a sword, so it'll be strength. But like, items will have like intelligence, dexterity, or observation, talent, and strength. That's it. These are your 4.
Okay.
And then there will be like 3 slots on it. There'll be it will be a 3 strength weapon, which will mean a dice roll will be made, a D100 roll will be made, and if the roll is higher than your strength, you fail. But if it's lower, you succeed.
Okay.
And then it'll do it 3 times. So it's basically a flat chance per slot of that slot filling.
Okay.
And the more slots that fill, the more damage you do.
Yeah.
And because of that, synergy is really awkward because it basically becomes have a healer or don't, or out damage them. But the tank is slower than everyone else, which means that the enemy get like 3 attacks off before the tank can even taunt. But the taunt might not even work, so you might as well not taunt because your team has already taken a bunch of damage, and they've gone before you.
So it's just worth them getting on with actual damage.
Yeah. But there's a mechanic that makes up for this, Josh.
Okay.
It's the ambush mechanic. It's dependent on observation, which the blacksmith does not have much of. It has like a 40%, and you have to roll like 4 to get the ambush to work. Otherwise, the enemy get a free turn on you.
Oh.
So the blacksmith can never ambush people, so he never gets to taunt, so everyone takes a bunch of damage before he gets to taunt. It's terrible.
So is there just no point to using those 2 things, really?
Ambush is really good on the hunter, because the hunter has like 80 in observation, so each dice has an 80% chance of working. So 57% of the time, the ambush will work, and the hunter will get a free turn. And the hunter does a lot of damage.
Yeah. So just for certain characters.
Yeah, for certain characters, it's really beneficial.
I guess that makes sense. Like,
it makes sense, but it's like
characters
these two
best for different
mechanics sort of
things.
grinding against each other, which is sort of like, well, the blacksmith very rarely does more damage than the hunter, and can't tank more than the hunter because they can't aggro to them. And armor isn't dependent on strength, and good armor generally works for the hunter, so the blacksmith is just worse than the hunter.
Yeah.
That's it. Because they can't tank and they can't deal damage, and they're only good at doing like strength checks. Congrats.
Yeah.
But I will say, it is a pretty good game. I have my problems with it. Like, this mechanic doesn't make a lot of sense. And it's very luck-based.
Yeah. It's entirely like...
It's all dice rolls.
Yeah. It makes sense.
So, that's a bit frustrating, because sometimes you will miss things that you have no right to miss. And you're just like, oh, okay, I see how it is. Like, I've never seen a slime miss an attack.
You just get screwed.
Yeah, and like, there's a boss you have to fight that does acid damage, which degrades your items. And items are relatively common, but not too common, and it just feels kind of unfair.
Yeah.
It's sort of like, oh, okay. Like, if you've done it before, you know what you're going into. And it's a roguelite. Okay. Which is another thing that's really weird. Which is, you have a lore shop, and as you're playing through the game, you'll unlock lore. You'll get like 1 lore, 2 lore, 3 lore, whatever. And you can spend that lore on new good events for you, or better items that can drop in the world, or cosmetics.
Yeah.
And it's like, all new characters. There are like 6 characters, I think. You can get additionally. And it's like, I can see what's happening here. But I just... It's like 3 cogs meshing together and they don't work properly.
Yeah.
I think I might be seeing it wrong. Maybe it's just like, I'm bad. It could be. I'm just bad.
Yeah. I am not... Well, I'm not too familiar with, like, roguelites. I'm definitely not familiar with this type of game. The more board game type stuff. So yeah, no.
It's really fun.
Yeah.
Like, it's addictively fun. Where it's like, oh, I just want to... One more go.
Oh, okay. Isn't that's typically like the roguelite stuff though, isn't it?
The games are really long, by the way. It can take upwards of like 5 hours to do a run.
Oh my god.
It's got save and quit feature.
Okay. This is that.
But the idea is you're meant to like get further with more, like, as you've bought more stuff, because there are more beneficial effects going around. And the weapons are kind of nice, but like, it's really difficult to consistently build certain things. So sometimes you can just be screwed on items.
Yeah.
And there are some enemies that are just like, you have to roll perfectly to hit this enemy. And it's like, oh, that's not fun.
Yeah.
And it's meant to encourage you to swap weapons. But to swap weapons, you have to spend an entire turn. And in that turn, you can die, because there's always... Yeah.
Yeah.
As I get better, we'll see if my opinion changes.
So I guess it'll be more... You'll know what's worth actually doing. If it's worth changing or... Yeah.
It's things like... you see this in Binding of Isaac a lot. So in Binding of Isaac, there's the reward for not taking damage on a floor is that Devil Room can spawn. And the more times you don't take damage on a floor, that makes sense. I'm going to try and reword it, though, because it's very clunky.
Okay.
So the more floors you don't take damage on, the higher the chance of a Devil Room spawning, provided they're consecutive.
Okay.
And so even though Devil Rooms seem random, they are guaranteed at a certain point.
Okay.
So playing well does net you better results, although the items that can spawn inside of them are random.
Yeah. But so overall, it's more likely that you'll get something out of it.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing where it's like, I think in games with randomness, there needs to be some level of consistency.
Otherwise,
Because
it would just feel unfair.
Yeah, so obviously in For the King, the consistency is that like each dice has an 80% chance of happening. So you're always guaranteed to get one.
Yeah.
Which is nice because it means you're at least doing something. But healing is relatively awkward to come across, and I also don't know how long you're meant to wait before doing certain events. So it's what I appreciate about it is that it is a big learning experience, because it's, well, when should I do this thing? Well, I don't know, I'll give it a go. And you try and do it, and you either struggle or you succeed, and if you struggle, you're like, well, I wasn't strong enough on this run to do this properly. I spent a lot of resources to do this. I should go and like farm XP or try and find some new items or explore the world a bit more before I try and do this.
Yeah.
Or like, oh, getting around's really awkward. Well, there's this item in the lore shop that I could buy that would put teleporters around the place that I could use. So I like that, but I still just fundamentally struggle with the lack of consistency on attacks. I would like it if it was like, you do 5 damage plus whatever you roll.
Yeah, that would...
As opposed to just you do your roll's damage.
Yeah.
And then there can be the question of like, well, there's an item that has 0 damage guaranteed, but it has a high like threshold, so it's a high variance weapon that you could use. Just that gets better the stronger you are.
It's just much more risky.
Yeah, but instead all weapons are like that. So it's sort of like, well, there's no choice here, is there? You just take the one that has the highest average damage and move on.
Yeah. Yeah, having some kind of action, like guaranteed damage would be nice. Like,
because different weapons have different things they can do. So some weapons can stun, but damn near every enemy in the game is immune to stun. So what's the point? Any enemy you would want to stun, you can't. And like, stunning them only helps if it's consistent. I've never seen it go above 60% chance of stun.
That's not even that high.
60% sounds relatively consistent. On average, you're going to hit more than you don't, but you waste your turn if you don't hit.
That's not high enough to be like, yeah, that seems worthwhile.
100% I could see being a little bit broken, right? You know.
Yeah.
You don't want to guaranteed stun every enemy you see.
No.
But like, an 80% chance to taunt isn't really good enough in a lot of instances, because if you fail, you waste your turn and your allies get hit, and they may not be able to tank the damage.
Yeah.
Because there's a magic resist and a physical resist feature. It's a flat reduction. So if you deal 1 damage to something with 3 armor, you do 0 damage.
Okay. So you just have to be doing a certain amount before you can even hit it.
It's kind of fine, because you start with a weapon that does 6 damage. I've never seen a weapon drop like that you find that does less than 10. So less than 9. So you're always going to be able to do something.
Okay.
And obviously that works to you as well. If they do 5 damage, you have 6 armor, they deal 0 damage. So if you had a blacksmith that could consistently taunt at the start of every fight, and you stacked him with armor,
yeah,
but like sacked all of his damage and capabilities, that's a build. That's a choice.
Yeah.
But 80% isn't consistent enough, because 1 in 4 times that doesn't work. So 1 in 5 times that doesn't work, and someone dies. Or they take way more damage that they can realistically take.
Yeah. It just doesn't seem worth it.
Yeah. It's so close to being good. Maybe I'm just like too unwilling to accept these dice rolls. That could be it.
Yeah.
I'm a guy who likes consistent damage over like random chance.
Yeah. And maybe you'll play more and it'll become more apparent.
Yeah. It might not be for me. It may be very easy to navigate. I've never seen a good shield, really. I don't believe they exist.
It's mythical.
I want to see a shield that has a block on it of like 80%. So not 80%, but like it has 1 check, so I can just guaranteed pass it if I desire. Because you have a system called Focus, and Focus lets you guaranteed get 1 check correct.
Yeah.
So if you've got a weapon that has three checks needed to be made, you can guaranteed pass one. I mean, you can pass all three, I think. Cost 3 focus. You can't replenish focus without either resting or consumables.
Okay.
Or having a perk that lets you do it. So it adds some consistency, but it's a finite resource and isn't really what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Who knows, though? Again, I could just be terrible.
It's entirely within the realms of possibility.
But I can't stop playing it. Like, I kind of hate a lot of the stuff it does.
Yeah.
But I really like it.
Yeah.
Like Fallout, but the opposite. Like, I hate a lot of what Fallout does, and I'm playing it in spite of it. Like, the same as for the King. But Fallout's problems are that it's too simplistic.
Yeah.
For the King is just a lot of stuff is going on at any one time, and I don't know how to deal with it all yet.
Yeah.
Because there's nighttime, there's scourges, there's chaos, there's like a bunch of stuff. Like, this doesn't touch any of the mechanics. There's quests you get from villages, there's a main quest that you're going to be doing for the entire game. You can buy stuff from markets, there are random encounters, there's a kraken that lives in the ocean that can instantly kill you.
Okay.
It doesn't actually. What it does is it sinks your ship and it can deal a huge amount of damage to you. But you can buy a thing that lets it so he can't attack you for 9 turns.
Okay. But
it's good.
Yeah.
I would recommend it. Not to you, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure it would be the type of game I'd enjoy. But someone would, I'm sure.
I'm in the room.
Yeah, you enjoy it.
It's just close enough to D&D that I can see why a lot of people who like D&D like it.
Yeah.
But it's far enough removed that it doesn't replace the urge to play D&D.
Yeah. It's just...
Yeah.
You can get a slight D&D fix from it.
A little bit. I mean, I play twice a week generally anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't need I would willingly take another D&D session in a heartbeat. I would play 3 times a week if I could. I don't know if I'd play more, but I would play 3 times a week.
That's a lot of D&D.
But I can imagine after doing 3, I would play 4.
Yeah.
Like, I would make a bold claim saying I would play every day if I could. I'm not quite sure.
I don't know. That seems like it would get very tiring.
Yeah, it just depends on if it's the same game. I don't think I could play the same game multiple times a week. Like, I play in Rob's
have
game.
a few different campaigns.
Yeah, but if I had 7 different campaigns with 7 different characters, I'd be okay with it, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah, I mean, Burke and Tim are fundamentally different. Burke is a selfish asshole, and Tim is a selfless asshole. It's hard not to be an asshole when I'm playing them.
Yeah.
It's sort of tied to me.
You just naturally fall into the role.
I do. Snarky, maybe not actively mean.
Yeah. But also nonetheless.
Yeah. So, like, Tim, because I'm playing him, not the nicest guy around, but will do the right thing when need be.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if I get time to think, he'll do more nice things than bad things.
Okay. He's good when he needs to.
Burke stole an apple from Clef, and it was a magic apple that he needed to do his, like, side quest thing.
So you just ruined his quest?
Well, no, because Urki was like, oh, it's fine, we'll find a way around it. But they did try and push me into the hole.
Okay.
But they couldn't.
No.
No, because of the way that Gust works, it pushes away from you, and they pushed me into a wall, and I climbed down, and I hit him in the head. I dealt more damage to him than he did to me, and he spent 3 spell slots. A barbarian's true might knows no bounds. Then we turned the apple into cider.
You turned this magic apple that was meant to be used for someone else's quest. You just used for cider.
Oh yeah, no, it would heal anything.
And you've
anything but death. It would heal.
And you used it for cider.
Burke is an alcoholic.
Wow, that's pretty low.
But the thing is, I kind of liked it because it we took the apple that could have healed. I think it healed 70 HP if we'd used it in a fight, and we were like, no, hold on, I'm not going to do that. That's not in character for Burke. He's going to immediately drink this. Sod the consequences.
Yeah.
Which I've been trying to actively do more, because I've played so much D&D.
Yeah.
And I've read the monster manual front to back over the course of a couple of years.
Yeah.
I mean, I say we. I've been playing for 4 years. No, 5 years, nearly. So it's I pretty much know every monster in the monster manual and their weaknesses. Which sucks, by the way.
Yeah?
Because it's really hard not to mess a game.
Oh.
So it's a reason I play dumb characters, in a way, is I never have to bring up what I know.
Yeah.
I just hit them, and then someone else will correct me. But it's we were fighting a flesh golem. I think I brought it up one week. Maybe I didn't, though, because it was in the bit where I wasn't bringing anything up, because why would I? Well, we're fighting a flesh golem, and Wardless shoots a bunch of lightning. He's a lightning damage guy. And lightning damage heals flesh golems.
Okay.
It's a reference to Frankenstein. I don't know if you can tell.
I do see the connection.
There's the connection there.
Yeah.
So, I obviously didn't mention it because I thought it was going to be funny.
Yeah.
And also Tim wouldn't know it. But there are some things where it's this isn't going to be funny, and also this is going to basically kill us. Alternatively.
So at times you do need to
So sometimes I will mess the game. Okay. It's one of those things where it's what's that? So trolls. Conceptually, you know what a troll is.
Yeah.
How long do I have to hit the troll with damage that isn't fire damage before we can find out that hitting it with fire damage prevents it from healing? How long do I have to play dumb if I have a fire spell? And it's that kind of question that's well, it's not fun to pretend that we don't know.
Yeah.
Because it just slows down the fight. But it's kind of necessary in some circumstances.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to stay true to the character.
Yeah, I mean, in Rob's campaign, we run quite a power-heavy game.
Yeah.
So it's sort of it's kind of okay to metagame because that metagaming isn't going to make a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were fighting okay, we had an encounter recently that was it was Rob's own creation. It was a little arena thing that we could do for some fun. So we went in there and we fought the 4 creatures before the one that I'm about to talk about. But the basic gist of it was it was a bunch of low-level creatures to get us accustomed to the format of the arena. And we joked, it's Rob's list of creatures that are way too strong for their CR.
Okay.
And then we got to the 5th room. And then we found out that it was Rob's list of things that were way too strong for their CR.
Okay.
It wasn't. He just put it in the room. But it was way too strong for its CR. So it can burrow underground at 40 feet per round, so we could never target it. Which meant anyone with extra attack couldn't use their extra attacks. It would jump into the sky, land on you, and then force you to make a dex or strength check, else you'd take a huge amount of damage, and it burrows underground again.
Okay.
So it knocked Tim 3 times, and Zai twice. It was about to knock him a 4th time, but we killed it in midair.
So by knock, you mean knock down? So all of your health?
All health gone.
Jeez.
That's... Rob isn't, really mean about this kind of thing. He doesn't, say, you're the healer, so you're going to take a load of damage. He just rolls a dice if it has no preference.
Yeah.
And I just roll. It's every time he rolls against like me. If it would be really bad to hit me.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyone else in the party
Just...
could have avoided being disintegrated by the beholder, but I couldn't.
Why?
It would have been really hard for me to avoid it because I have a +0 to my dex save.
Oh, okay.
And I have low health. So it just instantly killed me. Luckily, plot convenience saved me.
Yeah, you can always rely on the plot to keep you alive.
Yeah.
It's usually a safe bet.
But the bullet is BS. It does way too much damage, has way too much health, and it's really hard to hit.
Yeah.
Plus 17 AC. 40-foot borrowing speed and that much damage. It was deadly. We were level 6. It was only CR 5, and there were 5 of us. We should have been able to have killed it easily, and we just couldn't.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
Yeah, sounds it.
10 out of 10.
Going down 4 times.
3.
Oh, almost 4. Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty much my week, I think.
Yeah.
If I were to distill it into its 3 principal things, it was like I did a little bit of D&D. I did a little bit of Fallout, so a little bit of For the King, and a copious amount of Fallout 4.
Yeah.
And 1 episode of Fullmetal Alchemist.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Seems like an alright week. Apart from, the stress.
Oh, it's not stress. Yeah. I'm fine. I'm not coal right now. I'm not diamonds right now.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, hang on. I'm going to come up with an inspirational thing that we can post on Reddit. We won't. But...
What do you mean?
If you're under stress, remember, diamonds are stressed coal. That's the kind of dumb stuff you would see on r/motivate me. Or get motivated. Where it's like, no, hang on. You can't... Okay, so should I, compress myself under, huge amounts of earth so that I can become a diamond? No? What was that? I shouldn't do that. Why didn't you say so?
Maybe meant to be taken a little less literally.
Yeah, but they don't last, right? So I assume you go on Reddit occasionally.
I've gone onto specific Reddits.
Okay, so if you ever go on the front page, let me break it down for you.
Okay.
Because I quite like the front page because it makes me feel better about myself for different reasons. So you'll get a post on there that's r/wholesome. Okay. And it's you'll see I don't know if you see this on YouTube comments or stuff, where it's to whoever's reading this, I hope you have a wonderful day. And it's oh my god, shut up.
Yeah. It's kind of annoying.
I can't imagine who this helps. And then I've seen someone ask this, and someone will be oh, this has helped me. And it's how has this helped you? What world do you live in which some random person on the internet making a post for karma helps you?
Yeah, it doesn't really make any sense. If they're actually saying something rather than just saying, hope you're having a good day, then maybe I can imagine it helping someone, but...
To those having just a tough time in Corona, remember, this too shall pass. And it's I don't think I've ever seen that one, to be fair. That's 2 things merged together. But it's it's the same thing as this clapping for the NHS. It doesn't do anything for anyone. I can't imagine an NHS worker going, God, it was a really tough day. I'm having to live separated from my family so that they don't risk getting coronavirus. And I can't really see them. And I'm working 12-hour shifts every day of the week. I can barely function. My mental health is in the toilet. And I'm not being paid enough for this. But thank God, some Karen next door has applauded me for a minute at 8 o'clock.
I mean, when you say it like that, yeah. it doesn't sound so helpful. Although I think there is some value in it.
Yeah, there's some value in it, but it's insulting
hearing it outside in the evening is like, it's like, at least like people realize that this is a very tough time for them. At the very least,
it makes the people doing it feel better than it, like more than it makes the people who are receiving it feel better. It is this absolute like, it's what is it? It's like virtue signaling, I guess, but different in a way. Because virtue signaling is the idea of like saying, we should do X thing, and then they never do it. They just post it online, and they're like, I'm so virtuous, but look at me. And the people who like record themselves clapping or whatever, same thing.
Yeah.
But it's insulting when the Prime Minister goes out and joins the 8 o'clock clap for the NHS instead of, like, I don't know, paying them more?
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't it be impressive if someone who had the power to change things did something with that power instead of this, like, false... like, they're heroes, Josh. They're heroes for putting themselves out on the front line, as opposed to martyrs.
Oh, yeah, that's...
They're not...
For some people, I guess that is more the case.
They're not like heroic essential workers. They're like unwilling sacrifices.
Yeah. A lot of people were dragged out of retirement and like.
Well, dragged out isn't, but I think they willingly went out of retirement.
Is it?
Some of them. I don't know. I think that's what I've been here. Maybe I've just been I'm falling for propaganda. Maybe they were dragged out.
Well, because I guess like because my mum didn't retire, but she changed jobs to like something that's not so like in the hospital.
But, I was going to ask about that, like,
but because she'd been in the hospital, or she'd worked in the hospital in the last few years. I think she was like, they wanted her back to work there, but she's not because it wouldn't. She's not working in the hospital. She's working at home now. Because if she got coronavirus, it could have affected my brother, who'd recently gone through an operation, which would have been pretty bad if he got coronavirus trying to recover.
Interesting. I assumed that your mum was just like working in the hospital, but she was just like keeping her distance.
I think
like washing her hands thoroughly.
She spent like a week in a hospital, and then that was when my brother had an operation. So, yeah.
Wow.
Good times.
I've never had an operation. I'm pretty sure everyone I know has.
I mean, I haven't. I've never.
I guess I'm wrong. Have you broken a leg?
I've like grazed my knee. That's like the worst I've been through. Oh,
everyone on this podcast has not broken a bone.
Okay, actually no. I guess the biggest thing is I've had teeth taken out.
That doesn't count.
It's the closest to it. That's
but you're not really put under you put under local anaesthetic when they do that.
No, I was put asleep.
Were you?
Yeah, and they missed.
I wasn't.
They missed with the injection. So I had like a scar for like 6 years on my hand of just where they missed with the injection, and then I don't know why that happened. It hurt quite a bit. That was fun.
It didn't hurt for that much longer.
No, I was quickly put asleep. I have like one memory of waking up as well. It's like it's so weird thinking back to that, because like I was laughing my ass off, and my vision, I think, was just like completely blurred. I couldn't stand at all. It's really weird anesthetic.
I'm afraid of how I would act after anesthetic.
Yeah, I think I would be now. It's because it's unpredictable. It's like being drunk.
Yeah,
You don't know how you
that
are.
we don't say to our friends and family.
Yeah.
Right? But like we think things that we don't say.
Yeah.
And I don't think you do that when you're on general anesthetic.
Yeah,
you
you don't want to let something slip
Yeah.
that could offend someone or make things weird.
Yeah, I can't imagine the weird things that come out of like. I guess it's fine with like your wife or something, right? Like you're not gonna care that much there, unless you've done horrible things to your wife secretly.
Wait, what? What's this?
Well, like you wouldn't really care in front of your wife, right? Because your wife probably knows damn near everything about you.
Yeah, that's
right.
Yeah,
but like, unless you've done horrible things to them, like you've cheated on them,
you just
then you really don't want to go under general anesthetic.
Yeah, that shouldn't be the way they find out.
This is a plot point in not Game of Thrones, Breaking Bad, I think.
Really?
Yeah, he goes under surgery for his cancer, and he says something about my other cell phone.
Oh.
And that like kicks off Skylar's whole investigation into what he's doing with his other cell phone. She thinks he's cheating, which would have been the way better option than he's a national drug kingpin.
Yeah. Oh, that would be a very distressing thing to find out.
It would, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So anyway, I want to talk to you today about my new enterprise.
Do you have a new enterprise?
Yep.
Let's hear it.
It's green cocaine.
Green cocaine?
Yeah, it's super pure, but it's just green for some reason.
Oh, okay. I thought you were meaning like, oh, it's good for the environment. Or like, it was just weed.
About paper, actually. Like, getting off of this drug stuff. Just, it's a quick, thing. People keep saying, don't use paper. It's bad for the environment.
Yeah.
Which isn't true.
No?
No, because they farm paper.
Yeah, like I guess they're not.
Or carrots or something. They're not deforesting areas to make paper. It would be unsustainable for businesses. They're just growing paper. In trees, obviously.
Yeah. But they have like specific plots of land that are used for that and that only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
okay.
It doesn't actually matter. The thing is, deforesting, terrible for the environment. I'm not going to deny that. But if it's already
definitely very
done,
real,
and they're growing trees, the worst thing they're doing is nothing.
Yeah. I guess don't use too much paper.
Yeah, don't create more market for it. That would be bad. But like, it's fine to use paper. Like, it's this, you see those things in like schools and universities where it's like, one sheet of colored paper is equal to blah 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 blah. I don't know what the actual number is, right? And it's like, but why? Why should we care? Why are you putting the guilt on us? They grow paper and you buy it for like £1.
Yeah.
Like, I think the amount I've spent on printing credits at university, well, I haven't spent any, I got all mine for free. But like the cash amount I spent on my account was like £3. I've printed 50 sheets of paper in 3 years. I do not believe it costs £1 for 50 sheets of paper.
Yeah, it seems kind of
maybe the ink. I can buy the ink.
Ink is stupid, and
ink is incredibly expensive.
There's no reason for it, is there? It's just because they can.
Yeah, just because they can. People because no one knows how to use printers.
Printers just I swear, printers just
I know
are designed to fail.
Like, yeah, they have this is a conspiracy I would genuinely believe. Yeah. Printers have built-in redundancy.
I feel like I think it was a video I watched where they were talking about the ink cartridges and how
if you take them over, they can still be used.
Yeah, like there's like a chip in some of them, like obviously not all, but Like it has to have a specific, like some specific information on it to make it work. So you can only buy ink cartridges from this one company for like £30 rather than getting the exact same thing for like £3. It's just not made by them.
This is what I love about everything going digital now. Those companies get to rot with their like unsellable ink cartridges, and they'll have to bring the price down.
I haven't printed something out in like 2 years. That's a lie, but I didn't really need to print out anything when I did before.
Would you like to know the only thing I've printed?
Sure.
D&D character sheets and my D&D spellist.
Yeah, that's like, what else are you going to need to print?
I'm sorry, I printed one coursework hand-in sheet for the coursework I had to hand in.
Yeah.
Right. Because obviously I wasn't going to stand on some moral high ground suggesting, no, I will not print so that I can have, like, I'm just going to hand in the coursework. Of course I am.
You had to hand in a physical copy?
Maths work.
Yeah.
You do it by hand, you hand it in by hand.
Oh. You can scan it in.
Yeah, he said it had to be written though, because it was, the idea behind it was you had to do the sketching yourself.
Okay.
So they obviously can't.
I guess not as verifiable.
It's also just like marking online is a nightmare, apparently. It just takes way longer.
Okay. Which
I can kind of understand, because with the, like, I can imagine that what they do when they mark is they go into like a classroom or something. Well, I know this is how my GCSE history teacher did it. Is they just put all the sheets of paper on the desks and then marked one question at a time and then went to the next paper. There was no flipping or folding or anything. They just went and did all of them in a line.
Yeah.
On one question and then did it again.
Yeah. I guess that sounds a lot more convenient.
But I can imagine if you have 30 different, like, documents. I mean, I don't have to imagine. I know that it's a nightmare to deal with 30, because you don't have enough space on a computer screen to do 30 at once.
No.
Right? And, like, it's just way less convenient.
Yeah. Because you can't just... I guess you're not writing something in, you're not ticking a question. I guess there'll be other systems for that, maybe. I don't know how people generally mark stuff online.
I think they generally just do it the way you would imagine, by just sort of writing over it on, like, with a text editor.
Okay. So I guess if you have, like, if you're just using your mouse to draw, or if you have, like, a tablet or something, you can just have all of them open in different tabs and quickly switch between them.
Swapping between them, that's still a nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah, it is just more convenient with paper.
Like, it doesn't take 8 times longer or something. It's just sort of like, it's mildly more difficult.
Yeah.
Even though you physically can't lose the copy. So there's no, like, oh, we lost your work, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah.
It is what it is, and someday I'll have to do it. And you can tune in 6 years to find out how that went.
Yeah. In 6 years. Do you think this podcast will be going on that long?
Well, I hope I'm a teacher in 6 years, so this podcast has taken off so I don't have to be. One of the two.
Yeah, those are the two possibilities.
Yep.
The only two.